was
you
mainly
believe that
for men.
because I am not a feminist, I've been fed lies by patriarchy? Is that what?
In our previous video, you said something about equity, right? Where you said, if you have the credentials, you should be given the opportunity. But in our society today, where women have these credentials, you have every single thing, but still, there's still a bit of women are still being sidelined in a way or the other. It might not be too feasible, but it's there. What do you think about that?
Okay, so this issue of, let me give an example. Natasha now. Natasha is, we are talking about the Nigerian government, like when she was in all those problems that happened. Would you say feminism was what she needed?
Yes.
Okay, so what did the feminists do?
They stood up, they signed petitions, they created awareness about it online because even
That was how
our
you even knew
yeah, our
about it.
fellow women in the Senate didn't say anything. They didn't mind the fact that do you know how crazy it is? Do you know that were they feminists if they said anything? Because even like Senate rules, they shouldn't have just been like if they're accusing a woman of sexual assault, a man of sexual assault, assault, you as a non-feminist, what's going to be your reaction?
Wait, I'm not doing my question.
No, no, sorry. I'm just trying to
She's
get a
like,
point there. As a non-feminist who believes in women's rights but is not a feminist, if a man is being accused of sexual assault, what's going to be your reaction?
I want to know what the story is.
And after you find out the story,
If he's guilty of it, we attack it. If he's not guilty, we find a way to justify him from that accusation. That's the goal of.
so basically, you're saying if women are wrong, they should be called
Yes,
to. If men are wrong, they should be called to.
exactly. And that's the same thing that happened in this place with Natasha. The institutions were not even strong enough. When we had so weak institutions, even the so-called feminist institutions were not able to even address the issue. That at the end of the day, everything still died down.
Yes,
So the
because um, when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, the would I say majority of the people that were there are in for the patriarchal system, and feminism was just like the minority. So the fact that their efforts were still done but did not go a long way does not mean that they did not try. Sometimes you will see minority groups fighting for certain rights, but then if it does not benefit the whole country in Nigeria, or if it doesn't benefit the majority, you see that it won't go far. It's just the same thing that happened there. That was just a case of when majority takes over minority rules. It's not really that they did not try.
and again,
Or
it was even no, there
yes,
was
some women were, and that's still an example of how patriarchal system has been deeply rooted
So
into
the
some of
problem,
us.
but you know the problem isn't actually just patriarchy and women. This is more about the fact that there are people that are doing terrible things and there are people that are suffering for those terrible things.
Yeah.
Because even as you are saying, okay, women are actually okay, like Natasha, she went through this. There are also men too that are there that they are suffering. So would you say it's still patriarchy?
did the men get sexually assaulted by the
No,
Senate
we're not talking
president?
about sexually or not sexually assaulted. Men are also going through problems.
Okay,
just
but
like women are going through problems.
Fiku, let me open your eyes to something. Patriarchy actually does not benefit any gender. Most of the time, yes, it benefits men in most of the cases, but in the grand scheme of things, it does not benefit any gender. That's why you see most of the cultural expectations placed on men that they are still wrong, but we still go along with it because that's what we've been trained and expect, and we're expected to demand from men. But okay, so let me break it down. An example of that culture now, they'll say that men are not supposed to cry in certain situations. You're supposed to act strong and be there as a shoulder to lean on, blah, blah, blah. But that is just dehumanizing them, to be honest, because every human being cries in sad situations. And it is a normal response for a human being, regardless of your gender.
Actually just saying is that the system needs to evolve. I'm not saying that we should eradicate the patriarchal system. It's just that there are certain aspects of the system that are not good for both gender, for all individuals. And those are the parts that need to evolve to the changing needs of our society today. Simple.
So you're saying feminism is focusing on evolving things, right?
Yes.
But that's not what it looks like, Sha.
I guess that's the part that you're choosing to focus on, babe.
That's what is showing in the world.
And then before you're saying that we don't need feminism, we need institutions. Do you agree that you need specialization on certain things for them to actually work? like different problems need different responses. So when you say we just need institutions, like there has to be systems in place for particular issues. You can't just say, oh, women don't have rights and let's do the institutions to be better. What else are the problems that we're facing?
No, the thing is that
Corruption.
I think what she was saying is that
Children don't have rights.
I think what she was saying is that basically many times we feel that any matter that has to do with a woman, we just throw it to feminism, right? The thing is that okay, if we have a man that okay, I don't want to use this because it's very gory, but it's a reality, so I'll still use it. That rapes a woman, right? Okay, let me use the example of the Ozoro festival that happened recently, right? That we saw men running towards women, raping them,
Grabbing
like
them.
just because they came out to do their daily work or stuff. It's injustice in it at its finest, right? But the idea that everything that has to do with a woman, we just push it to feminism, I think is very generic. Right? What we need for that type of situation is a better justice system.
Exactly.
That's what she
That's
meant.
what I'm saying.
Right?
The
We
institution
need
is
people
weak.
that would stand for any human being,
Both
regardless
male
of
or
their
female.
gender.
Do you
Right?
understand?
Not
Not
just
just
anything that has
feminism.
to do. Okay. For example, we talked about the Natasha issue, right? And we were like, okay, because women didn't stand, feminists or something like that, feminists were not there in their number, or like something about the feminists being
Yeah.
minority. But I feel that that situation called for um a more awareness of the situation, and like we said, a good justice system that actually holds leaders accountable, right? Not just okay, because he's a man we believe that okay, feminist voices should arise and speak. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that the dire need for that situation is to have a great justice system that is unbiased regardless of what you give them in money, in cash, in opportunities or anything. That's what I feel she's saying.
I think I get where you're coming from, but then again, I feel you're still going back to our initial point of the system is very patriarchal in nature. Therefore, like we need, I still stand on the point that we need a specific focus, a specific movement that focuses on this particular issue. Like I can count how many women are in the Senate. There is no way the voices of those women are going to eradicate the voices of men. We saw the way they were treating her. Like there was not even any investigation put into the incident and alleged sexual assault. We're just thinking of it is lying. But I just want to say that the Ozara Festival, the the awareness was not created by Muslim men. It was mostly women who were talking about it. And when women were even talking about it, mostly feminist women, because I saw a woman coming out to say, oh, they were trying to test waters, that's why they went to. I wouldn't count that person as a sensible person. So the whole awareness about the Ozora Festival, it was like women coming out to tweet about it, once again, feminist women talking about the injustice and all of that. And in that same scenario, we still saw men talking. In that moment, they were saying, oh, it's not all men. If there is no feminism to counter, because men are not going to fight for women's rights, that's one thing I've come to.
I know.
Okay,
I don't
the
start
thing
from
I,
that.
I don't believe that because
I don't.
I feel that
You can't say men.
we should
That's
go we
general.
should go outside the mentality that a particular gender must be the one to fight for
Fight
this
for it.
particular thing. I believe no. Wait, no, I'm not. I don't believe that. I believe that men will definitely fight for more of their rights, and women will fight more for their rights because that's how that's how our nature is. We tend to like fight for what will benefit us most, right? But I'm just trying to say that we have to come out of the mentality that it should only be a particular set of people, right? I believe that even men can fight for the rights of women, right? I believe that you don't have to stand up and say that, okay, I'm a feminist to fight for women's rights, right? Okay, so like you said, pertaining the Ozora festival, right? We saw that a lot of men as well were coming out. Not the awareness was not just from women. We also saw a lot of influencing, like influential
Yeah,
men coming
men
out, and they
coming
were
out,
crying. they were saying how unjust the whole system is, right? So I'm just saying that a system can be composed of both men and women that support for the rights of each individual, not just like one side trying to like do you get override the other.
It's
We
like
can
competition.
actually live in unity.
See, I get what you are saying,
Yeah.
and that's like the let's say the solution or the evolving of the patriarchal system that we're looking forward to. Right now, that's not how it is.
Definitely.
That's why certain things are still going on. You still see violence against both women and men, but most of it is actually done against women. That's why you would see more women standing up. And she was
But
talking about something that
yeah,
she was talking about something that okay, would you see a man fighting for the rights for you as well as a woman would? And it's very right because like it's the person that is wearing the shoe that knows where it's paining
yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's not somebody that is not wearing
yeah.
the shoe that
I
will
feel
harm you. So as much as yes, so we're saying that some men actually fight for women's rights, not all of them would.
mm,
Most men actually would not. And it is the truth. Sometimes we might not accept this truth because it hurts, but it's still the truth. And that's where this system needs to evolve. That everybody is fighting for everybody's rights
yeah,
at the same time. Not that it is a competition, like you said,
yeah,
but that we're all fighting that, okay, everybody is equal, everybody is fairly treated, and we all just live in a peaceful and content society.
yeah,
And then in addition to what Faith is saying, like most often than not, we will not see. So far, the issue doesn't bother these men. They
Yeah.
wouldn't go out of their way to say, you know what. In fact, they will ignore it. They will act as if it doesn't exist. Most of them won't say not all men. Most times, when women are actively talking about their realities and what has happened to them, sexual assault, like this is not even about statistics. There's almost no girl child in every demography from young to old, newborn to dead, that has not been sexually assaulted at some point in their life. And when women are talking about these realities, you often see men at the same saying, oh, they've come again, all these fake accusers. Not all men know what you're saying. Like, even when women
That's
are
why we
talking,
bone of contention.
when men
mind
are
you.
talking about their realities, you see men there saying, it's not all men, they are fighting for exclusion. We don't talk about me. But you could
Yeah.
use that your voice, you could use that your voice to say, oh, this is actually so sad. I don't have much idea of what happens to women. But then it is at that point that you're trying to fight for your own rights, that they will be fighting for their own rights not to be included with this situation.
But
So
I
when
feel
things sorry,
okay.
so when things like this happen, you cannot expect feminists not to be angry. You can't expect them not to be mad at the idea that I'm trying to fight for my rights. I'm expecting that everybody joins me on this movement, but instead you're trying to counter, you're trying to water down.
You're
So
trying to say that, oh, I'm not part, but sorry that it happened to you, but like I'm not part. Like take the example of let's say they stole meat from a pot, and like somebody was wrongfully accused. Let's say Fikun, you were wrongfully accused. Your mom accused you of stealing meat from the pot, and you honestly did not steal it. Let's say it was your sister that stole it, and then you now go and meet your other sister, and it's like, oh, you're telling her that you found out that this your older sister, she stole the meat, oh, and like she did not even say anything when your mom was shouting at you. Then the other one will now be like, but I'm not the one that stole the meat now. So when I come and meet me, it's not all sisters that steal meat. But that was never the issue to begin with. You were wrongfully accused and you were just looking for a source of comfort and a source of guide to help you, would I say, bring back justice.
That's what we exactly said. We need
Yeah, that's what we are heading towards, but that's not what is happening.
Okay, so I want to just just say something, right, concerning what you just said. Like the thing is that every human being, even though has the right to claim exemption, if you are not the like person at the end of the crime,
Yeah.
you get, every human being has that right. So yes, you are saying that they like come out from the bone of contention, like instead of addressing the issue. But yes, they do have the right to say that I'm sorry about what happened to you, right? but it's not all men, right? They are like that is a this thing. Then concerning what you said previously about most of the cases of rape being women or like sexual assault, I'm going to say that let's not say most, just some. Because the thing about the society, like you previously said, is that men have been silenced in a way that they can't express their emotions. They can express power,
Yeah.
but they can't express emotion.
But who
So
sets that
no,
system up?
it's the
Like,
society. Like this, the thing is that it has nothing to do with feminism or not. That's how the
yes.
society is. That's what we've been given, and that's how we're going to deal with, right? So the thing is that these men, okay, I can tell you that many men, many have gone through sexual assault.
Yes.
Many, but they don't have the courage to stand up and say, I passed through that. One auntie came to my house and did that to me. Like instead, they use it as a coping mechanism, and like it becomes part of their that, like it becomes an addiction kind of. Many people that have a history of or like have an urge for sex,
Yeah.
it was born from that place, or pornography was born from that place of abuse. When they were so young, they got exposed to these things,
Yeah.
and they couldn't say, mommy, this auntie did this to me, or mommy, this uncle did this to me. They had to hide it within them, and it became part of them, right? So the fact that they don't speak out, and it has not been reported in larger numbers of women, that okay, women can stand up and say, okay, this happened, and be shut up, right? At least they get to speak. At least they can come out. And yes, even though they are shut up, you still see, even okay, like let's say in let's say a woman that got raped released a video. Let's say most of the comments are men saying that why are you doing, you are doing like, let's say negative comments. At least one comment to say, go girl, go sister, give them what they deserve, or let the, like you hear voices. But if a man comes out and says that, they'll be like, I know a man. That type of thing. Do you get?
But then again, like what Faith was saying is that I didn't set that system up. I don't
No,
have to
that's why I
suffer
said
for the
we
fact
just, it's
that
a system that's been given to us, and we have to operate
And
within
that's
it.
exactly
I don't
what
think it's okay for us to just take it as, oh, the system is not fair.
All rights for everybody. It's pushing against rights for women.
No, it's you who
The
do not
problem isn't
understand
just
that.
women.
Because feminism is about equal rights for both men and
Yes.
women. Like Google
equal rights
feminism,
for
that's the
both men
meaning.
and women.
What do you say?
That feminism is not just about women.
Oh Jesus!
But then it's
Yes, it is. That's not what you guys said.
That's actually not what you guys
feminism
said.
is about
Even when
getting equality between men and women at a point that women can do the same thing as men. And when women are found in those places, it doesn't become a thing of what's a woman doing there. It's just a thing. Like everybody can be seen as human rather than, oh. But then we've come to a point in society where, once again, the system is patriarchal in nature. So most often than not, the movement has tilted towards or fighting for women predominantly, because what am I fighting for men for? Is it all the things that has been handed over to them simply because they were men, and now women have to fight to take those things? Oh, their right to work, even till now, women still have to fight for their right to work in certain spaces, that when they are found in those spaces, they'll still look at them less, that, oh, as a woman, like, it's still happening.
What are you doing?
We're not disputing the fact that
those things happen.
those things happen, right? We're just saying that it should be, so it should not just be women that are doing the fighting, right? That's what we're saying. We're just saying we should evolve to a point that is not just do you get, like everyone, like it's a thing that okay, we all have the right to life, we all have the right to what do you call it, I don't know, to education, to everything, right? So it should not just be like, the thing about feminism, let me say modern feminism, is that people now, it's just like, I don't know, they just sideline men, right? Okay, so it's just like women. But the thing is that you operate in a man's world. That's patriarchy now. That's patriarchy. You operate in a man's world. right? But you tend to sideline men, not holding them accountable, right, for what they should be doing. Instead, you rise up and start fighting for women's rights. But also, we should hold these men accountable to be able to as well fight for the rights of everyone, not just women, because there are men as well that do not have these rights.
But
If we talk about other what they call it, other benchmarks, not just gender, if we talk about race as well, if we talk about like places like America, which is a very rough place, right? You see people of different races. So in America, it's very like weird because like it's not just women. You don't have to only deal with you being a woman. You have to deal with you being a black woman, an Asian woman, a woman of color, right? So then you also have to deal with being something that's not a white man. You have to deal with being a black man, insecurity, dealing with being an Asian man, them labeling you as stuff and everything. So we have to know that there are other things than gender. There are also men that are being sidelined. There are also men that are suffering. And what we should do is we should have a cumulative fight for all those rights, not just
Okay,
One other thing is because can I just finish this? Is that even if you give rights to women, equality, blah blah blah, it doesn't still change anything. The society will still be bad, and the women won't most of the times will not still be able to do what they wish they could do or they want to do or they could do. So giving rights to women alone will not solve the problem. It should be acknowledged in all areas that there's a problem here and we need to solve it generally together.
like you mentioned something about everyone having to be a part of this course rather, that we're fighting for everybody. Nobody is going to fight. So like Faith has said, is somebody that is stepping into a tight
But
shoe.
we're
that
all in
knows
the
that-
shoes, whether we like it or not. We are actually all in
Fikun,
this.
I think you're gaslighting yourself to think that men are in this shoe. You are not in this shoe.
no, we're
That's
just
not
saying
what we're
that
saying.
everyone has something in their shoe
Yes,
that is
and we're
paining them,
all
and we all
facing
should
it.
like.
So it's just better to
We're
take
not
it as
facing the
it
same
is.
thing. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying everyone is facing something. Right?
But then, would you agree that it's been obvious
But
over
that is the bone
time
of contention.
that men
We're
what
fighting,
is
okay, you are
causing these
fighting for
things.
women's rights, but we should also fight for marginalized men's rights. We should.
That's not my problem, genuinely.
Some people also fight for gay rights.
That's exactly the reason why society is like this. Because if you can say that that is not your problem,
Okay.
it is also not their problem.
What are those magic? And that is why I'm carrying it on my shoulder and fighting it for myself as a woman. That's why I'm not asking
And that's
any
the same
man
reason why
to
men
help
today
me
would
in
rather-
this.
So why
Over time, it has proven like beyond doubt that men are not interested in fighting for the rights of women. Why would I want to fight for the right of women when I'm enjoying the fact that women don't have rights? It's as easy as that, saying, "Oh, we should fight for who are marginalizing the
That
men."
fight for them to give you one meat when I am enjoying the two meats and your meat.
Okay,
Come on.
if you are eating two meats, will you fight for me that is eating one meat?
No,
Exactly.
Don't say like let's
Exactly.
be for real.
Exactly.
I'm eating two meats.
Exactly. You're saying what we are saying.
And again, you mentioned something about America or black women and
Asian and all this.
okay, so now in those kind of scenarios, would these black people now say, "Oh, let's fight for the right of every human being"? That's why Black Lives Matter and movements
Yeah.
like that are focused
That
on
is what we
on
are
a certain
saying,
race.
though.
It's like the focus, like who is facing
There's
this.
a specialization. That's what she's trying to say.
It's like saying,
for
as a black
specific
woman,
issue.
I'm fighting for my right. I'll not say, "Oh, because I don't want to be selfish, let me go and fight for a white man
Okay,
that
but
has
that's,
had
that's,
every."
that's what you are
No.
saying. You are saying that patriarchy is not supporting feminism, but why should they? It's not paining them.
That's exactly my point. Like, you are proving my point, and that is why we need feminism as a response to patriarchy.
Yes.
Nobody is going to fight for women like women. And let me just say this now: I could care less about the marginalized men. Why are those marginalizing the men? Is it women that are also marginalizing men?
It's men.
It's as a response. Oh, classism. Oh, between. Oh, I'm richer than you. And if you see the way men act around other men, you know that it is not my problem to start stressing about, oh, if a man doesn't have, like, I couldn't care less.
It goes
deeper than what you're
feminism.
just talking about
I feel that the
feminism.
solution to patriarchy isn't feminism.
It is more
isn't
of
just
culture. It is more of
feminism.
family. It's
It's,
more of
it's a solution,
just.
but it's not the solution.
So what's
you
the
can't
point if it
scrap
is
it
not
out.
if it is not
It's
doing
not a soul. It's not a soul.
Obviously, it's not the
this
sole
thing.
solution.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the sole solution, but it's still a solution.
It's the major solution.
It's not the major solution
Okay,
at
please.
all.
Okay, because of time, we have to move. We have to move on to the next question. So yeah, we have to move on to the next question. Thank you so much. So in our African society, where our culture shape our gender roles, do you think that this cultural expectation actually empower women or it limits their roles? It limits them basically.
Can you repeat the question?
So in our African society, where most of our gender roles are shaped by culture, do you think that this cultural expectation does it empower women or does it limit them?
Okay.
What do you think
I-
about it?
Do you want to start?
I think it's fantastic.
Okay, so to me, I don't feel like it can be put in a very general space because there are certain areas, certain cultures that empower women, while there are certain areas that don't.
Can you mention those cultures?
Okay, so I think it's in the Igbo land that they had women that are empowered, that are pushing for certain things. There are areas like that women are empowered, right? While there are areas where women are not empowered. So you can't necessarily say that culture is so bad that it should just scrap it out or something.
And also, I feel that it's not just a thing of whether it's empowering women or it's limiting them, because
Yeah.
I feel there are some cultures, like she said, that empowers women, right? That has given them this in, like, the Ashanti tribe, and they are like how they had
Even the
armed forces, like women armed forces. I don't know if you have watched.
Being the keyword, those
Yes, we're talking about culture has
It's
evolved.
something that has been
Okay, so if you
And
see,
right now it's the Ashanti
in this time-
tribe
no, I'm
favoring
only-
women now.
Calm down. Right now, if you have the police force now. At that time, that was the police form now, and presently you have women in the police force, don't you? Mm-hmm. Exactly. So now, we also have cultures that suppress men. We also have cultures that limit them, right? No matter how you want to accept it or not. Okay, so the Fulani tribe, before you get married to a woman, they will beat your ass. Like the men will be beaten.
By
To
who?
the
Is it
point that
women?
no, but
Is it not fellow men?
women don't like
no, but that is what the women looked for. To the man that can survive it would be the one to win their hearts, right?
Like the conversation.
But that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying that I'm just saying that it's a culture is not just a thing that has suppressed women, right? It has also suppressed men. So when
that's
we talk
not the-
about
that's not the question.
that is the question.
Like,
That is the
don't
question.
say-
I'm not
you are
disputing.
such an idealist.
I'm not
that
an idealist. It's reality. That is
No.
what is happening.
Do you know why
That
I
is
said
what
that?
is happening.
Because the question now that goodness asks is pertaining to women, but like you're doing that thing where not all men, and you are now including men. Like the question does not even.
But I'm saying that the
concern them.
problem is not specific to women. It's also general.
This
It's a
question
general
is
problem.
specific to women.
Okay, so then I would say that there are some cultures that empower them, and there are some cultures that support that don't empower.
One thing that you've not answered us from the beginning of this is that you said there are some cultures that suppress men. There are some things that men go through that they can't talk about. Whose fault is that?
Is the society?
everybody's
Is the
fault.
society?
It's not everybody's fault.
Okay. Sorry.
It's
can
not
I say
everybody's
this? Can I
fault.
say
Because
this?
society is run by men.
Can I say this? Okay, so there's a thing called an ick. Have you seen it all over social media?
Yeah.
Where women will be like, "Oh, I don't like a man that cries." That's
Men
an
also
ick.
have icks, they say.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you are talking. Oh God, you are doing exactly what you just condemned
you're
me
trying
for
to-
doing.
You're trying to say that women have.
Oh my God, but that's what I just did, and you said I'm
You
being
said that
idealist.
there are
But that's
icks.
the truth.
Let's go back to what you were saying, that there are icks where women say they don't like men that cry.
Yeah.
Who puts that idea in people's mind? That
Okay, so
men
now you are
shouldn't
saying
cry?
that women are
people do it?
I said, who puts the idea in people's head
Those
that
men
men
that actually
should?
put this idea.
Because
In those
it's the
days-
people that run society that
calm down.
determine the ideas
In
that
those
flow
days,
in.
like we said before, when we were talking about culture and all these things, and we said that it was a matriarchal.
Yeah.
Run by women,
Pardon my
society run by
pronunciation.
women.
Yes, was it not the women that were in power? Was it not the women that were putting these things in place? Was it not the women that were taking care of the children and putting these things into the minds of their children?
Okay, but did you hear any culture like from that time that said that men could not cry? Is it not from now?
Who told you?
something that
It's
has
something
been
that's been
built
Oh
over
my God,
time.
no! Those
from the times it has been there.
No, in the beginning,
masculinity started with patriarchal system.
in the
not
beginning of your
yeah.
arguments, in the beginning of your arguments, you said that when the Westerners came with the ideology, the ideologies was overriding every ideology that was existing, meaning everything that we were doing when the society was being run by women became replaced by the patriarchy. So that's where we're at now. Like every
Yes.
idea that is now flowing from the time that you said Western ideology overtook our culture is what we are now living by. And again, the question is who puts the idea that me, I believe that every like it's not a thing of men shouldn't cry or women should cry. The idea that oh women grow faster than men are just things born out of the patriarchy. There are women that have slow growth. There are men that have fast growth.
Yeah.
So when you try to put the burden of, oh, you're a woman, you should like,
But they also say, oh, you are a man, you should.
but like who
that's
caused
what-
it? It's
who
like
caused
it's just
If you
simple.
can't put a blame to one person, I don't think it works that way.
So women should carry
That's not
the
how
guilt that
things
men
work.
created.
Like I think you think that those are how.
Okay,
things
so
work.
wait, what we're saying is that we're not diminishing light on the fact that patriarchy is a problem or
Yeah.
patriarchy exists. We are not diminishing that. But for you to say that everything we do or the fact that women like a certain particular type of men is because of what the men make them feel they should like
No, because that's actually the truth.
is very odd.
There's a reason why you have a personal preference, to say, and that's been shaped by what you've received from society.
Okay, so what has you as
reason
a
why-
feminist received from society?
That men should cry if they want to.
Yes.
That women should access places that people have told them not to go
Okay,
because it
so
was
you
mainly
believe
for
that
men.
because I am not a feminist, I've been fed lies by patriarchy? Is that what you're saying?
Everybody has been fed like
Okay, I like that. I
Not
like that.
just you,
I like
okay?
that. Okay, because
just that,
including you,
I feel like I'm
including
more-
you
I'm
as
more-
a feminist, you have been fed lies.
Yeah,
Yes,
but I'm
by the
more,
patriarchal
I'm
system, but you
more
are not
woke.
sitting in those
My
lies.
eyes
Okay.
are more open.
So
to
I am
see that.
sitting in those lies because I believe that okay, I'm not I shouldn't be labeled a feminist.
It's not even that you shouldn't be labeled a feminist. The reason why I would say that, would I say you are sitting in those lies? Not even that. But the reason why I would say that you're not actively fighting against the patriarchal system is because of the shaping it has already done to your lifestyle. This is exactly like it has shaped exactly how you think, how you would eventually make decisions. So essentially within you, until your eyes are open to see that this is actually bad and you now choose to fight against it, I would say you're seeing them.
People think if you are saying, oh, I care about men too, some men are marginalized, it means that you are exempted from the two portions of misogyny. Everybody will chop their misogyny at their, at their
Yes.
point. Even men will
Men
chop
still
their own
do.
portion of misogyny. You could be outside saying, no, but this men, let's not suppress their emotions, and they'll come and say, who is asking you to do that from this stupid woman? And that's when to just clear in your eye that okay, these people don't actually care. It's okay if you do not want to be a feminist. It's okay if you think, okay, you believe in women's rights, but you think the label feminism doesn't work with you. But as a feminist, my eyes are open to see that more like the majority of the problem we face in this world stem from the way the world is run, which is the patriarchy. And I strongly believe that feminism, the movement, is one of the core solutions, if not the core solution, to the problems of patriarchy. Most of the problems that are faced by men, it was men who created those problems for themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, men shouldn't cry, men should be bold, men should. There was one, I think we all know this thing, I'm not going to mention that particular class, where the lecturer was like, oh, detaching the male child from the
yeah.
Is it women that
Rights of adulthood.
is it women that gave the idea to men that, oh, detach me from my son? Men should. He said it was somehow, he used the word I can't remember, for a man to cry. That is not my fault, and I cannot carry the guilt and the burden of, oh, men are marginalized too. I'm fighting for my life because the marginalized men will still go out of their
Their way.
to still show that, oh, I see. As we're both marginalized, but your marginalization is still more than my own, and
Yeah.
they'll prove it to you.
Okay, so you said that patriarchy. Okay, we all agree that patriarchy is like a very big stem in the issue, right? So, what would your ideal society look like?
Once again, the ideal society would be one where there is equity between men and
Not that you
women.
didn't begin with equity, you began with
Equity, a balance where men and women can exist and do things without people putting a label on what women should do, on without people putting restrictions on what men can't do. Or it will not be a society where they'll tell men to not cry. It will not be a society where they'll tell men not women not to go to school. And I cannot not be a feminist because feminism hasn't even reached its full potential. In this same Nigeria, there are girls in the north, 9 years old on the north, sitting or waiting
Their
for their
husbands' houses, yeah.
ultra scans. Like, it is disheartening. So if I now say, oh, I don't want to be a part of this movement, like, there is a reason why community is very important in every movement that we're doing. It's easy to sit on the sideline and say, you know what, I care about women, but this movement is Raz. I'd rather be a part of a community of people that believe that women should have rights than say, oh, I believe women should have rights, but I don't think you people are doing it the right way. What would you say is the right way to do it? Is the right way to counter these problems? And back to the place of community, what Faith was saying earlier, that, oh, there are Christians that are extreme, there are Muslims that are extreme, there are extremism in every form of movement. Should we not say, oh, I'm a Christian, but every time you want to introduce yourself as a Christian, would you not say, I'm a Christian, but I'm not an extremist? You still
Because
introduce
you
yourself.
don't even need to say that. Because nobody should expect you to be extreme.
And community, when you are working with a group of people with a goal and objective in mind, it is very fast to achieve those goals. Oh, but then the reason why it feels like feminism is not doing anything is because how many problems are we battling? Is it the fact that some girls are still being denied education in the north? Is it the fact that some women are still expected to veil themselves so that men will not look at them lustfully and they will not cause those men to sin? Or the fact that in
But that's a thing of
2020,
religion, not women.
but you can say that it is still a form of, because at the end of the day, it's not from a place of religion per se. Like, there are people
No,
that
it
have
is a place
proven
from
it.
religion.
No, there are people that have proven it over time that originally those women didn't used to cover their head. It was from a place of, oh, I'm seeing your hair is causing me to sin.
You know
Cover
those
it.
women, the women that do that are married women, and like in the Muslims, and they call themselves something I've really forgotten.
Even young
But
girls are still covering their
no,
heads.
they're like the veiling of every part, like it's just their eyes. Those ones are for married women.
Okay, beyond covering the head, in those society, women can't go to school. Women cannot be attended to.
Okay, so
by-
you
by
believe
men.
that that veiling process is like dehumanizing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm going to say something. So do you believe that when you go to church and they say you should cover your head, it's dehumanizing?
There's a
as well?
difference between covering my head and there's a difference
But that
between
is
me
their
covering
religion.
my whole body.
That
The
is their
religion
religion.
only says, I'm not even going to get into religion because I'm not a Muslim and I don't have not in that aspect of, oh, whether women should veil. And but it gets to a point, why do women have to cover their head from head to toe and the men can wear
But
shorts, they can
sometimes
wear
it's a conviction from those women.
and
to
if they
do that.
believe in it, so be it. But in
Like,
those
let's
same
just establish that.
in those same societies, now it gets to a point of where the patriarchy is still the problem. These women cannot become doctors, yet they cannot be attended to by male doctors. When they fall sick, what is going to happen to them? So this problem, there's still so many battles to fight.
That's what we.
But at the end of the day, we are looking at, oh, getting education for every girl child, and we are still fighting misogynistic comments in one of the top universities in the world, where people will come into the class and say, "Oh, why are the women doing better than men?" Like, those statements rub off you in the wrong way when learned lecturers, professors come to tell you that FGM is not bad and women just want to be promiscuous. Like, you just have to, so you, the feminist in you, will have to respond. So it, like, there's so many problems that we're fighting as feminist women, and as much as we have the end goal of, oh, like, everybody just thinks, like Fikun said something earlier, that there's some form of balance, but that doesn't mean we have to relax, because
We're
as
not
much
saying anyone should relax.
There's a lot to
We're not
actually
saying we
work
should
on.
relax.
as
So
much
I
as much as we have this right to school, right to vote, there's still so much more, because even in this school, there are people still telling you, and you're in school, but you shouldn't be doing as you shouldn't be doing as good as you are. Like, this man should still be better than you. We want to get to a point in this movement where people will see women in spaces, and they will not be like, why, what are you doing here as a woman? It should be a thing of competence. It shouldn't be a thing of people looking at you less because of your gender. And again, this thing is going to benefit both the male gender and the women gender. But when these men are not willing to be a part of this movement, because like Faith said, if you are supposed to have one mate, and I'm supposed to have one mate, but me, I can take two meats and enjoy for
but
myself.
the thing is that if they give you two meats, will you like still fight for a man that has one meat? You won't now.
Exactly, but
So don't
That's
expect so
that's
much
what
from
they are
them.
also
and once
doing.
again,
Human behavior to be greedy.
Yeah. See, it's a natural human behavior
To be
not
comfortable.
fight
When you are
for,
comfortable,
to not
there's
fight for something
no-
that doesn't benefit
Yeah.
you. And that's what we're saying. That's what these men are doing. You should actually go out of your way to look beyond the fact that it might not benefit you as much as it used to, but that it will benefit every single person.
And that's what exactly what we're saying. That's the same thing we're talking about.
but then
But
you're
the thing
saying
is
you're
that
saying
they-
everyone should be in on this movement. Should we not say we are
That's
going
not
to?
what we said.
No, but you said that.
That's not what we
But
said.
is it going to? Are we going to pause the movement because we are waiting for everybody to
No,
catch
that's not
on?
what
That's
we
not
said.
what we're
That's not what we're
driving
going
at.
for.
We're driving at, okay, even as you are moving, you're pushing for your feminist agenda, you should try to understand that there's also the part where these men too need to be knowledgeable on these things. If you're pushing your agenda for the rights of equality of women and men, and you're not letting these men know that this thing is important, you're not pushing that knowledge even to the young ones. Because if you look at it now in society, you see small boys that are doing like in that Ozoro festival, there were also small boys that were there. Who is teaching them all these things? And why are the women not pushing that these boys be educated on these things? Why is it that it's only the girl that is being told, sit down, close your leg, do this, that? Why can't the feminists that are trying to push for
So
this,
you're
why
saying
can't they
that
also
the weight of educating the boy child
Should
about
be
basic
involved.
human rights, that you shouldn't have, that just because a woman is somewhere you shouldn't touch her breast, like that weight should fall on only feminist women have a duty?
Jesus.
we keep
Reverse.
No, because I don't understand your point.
So I feel that our time is fast spent, right? And our opinions about things will not change, right? Because this is what we have grown to understand. This is what we have grown to like know, right? But the thing is that what I'm just going to say as my hardline, right? I'm just a Shakimite Yola man. I am not a feminist, but I believe in women's rights. I believe that the society can happen. The problems in society don't just stem from patriarchy, but also other societal issues, right? And what else?
I don't think diminishing culture is the only way. I feel like there are certain things that we can put in structures that actually would work. Putting in proper government, like there are so many other things that we can do rather than just saying that men are the problem and patriarchy is the problem. If patriarchy is the problem, how can you solve patriarchy? How can you actually ask like
By culture evolving.
culture evolving?
Yeah.
So how do you evolve
So
culture?
I've said my hardline. I don't think I have any much to say.
Like,
culture evolving is also a solution to the patriarchal system, because most of the things in the patriarchal system stem from cultural expectations as well. So the thing about men crying, women are not supposed to be this one, men are supposed to be doing this one, is also cultural expectations, which should evolve. Yes, there should be a change in culture. It's as simple as that. So, and even in the government spaces that you are looking forward to, like also evolving, it will still come from cultural expectations, because who is going to be running those governments? If it's still going to be men who
There's no way
have these cultural
patriarchal is
expectations
making.
on them, nothing is going to change. As much as, yes, there needs to be a good justice system, who is at the head of this justice system? What are they expected to do from culture? Because, like, regardless of how you want to look at it, culture is the way of life. Is what's going to shape everything that you're going to do. And so even when you are in a space of power, it's still your cultural beliefs that will shape what you do.
And again, I just want to say that feminism has gotten to a point where there is almost nobody that you will speak to about feminism that doesn't have an idea of what is it. So expecting me to now sit you down when you know about this thing, but in particular, I'm speaking to the men now that will come out to say not all men. So you know it's not all men, but you know some men are doing it. But instead of you to caution those men, you rather face me and tell me it's not all men. Anybody that is expecting anybody.
I don't think those people are actually saying not only and talking to the normal feminists. I think they're talking about the people that are extremists in their agenda for feminism. So I wouldn't necessarily say that all people that say not all men are, because that's another thing. When she says that instead of saying women are not all men, we should face the men.
That are doing
That's
it.
what I'm saying. The people that are saying not all men are talking to people that are extremists in their feminist.
Most
But
time
most
it's
of
not
that's the
about
truth.
extreme feminists. You see women coming out to say, oh, men are scum, men are rapists.
And who are they?
That is generalization. And oftentimes you can say, oh, um I don't want to use this statement, but sometimes we generalize in our statements. It doesn't mean that
You feminists.
everybody generalize. You
Calm
can
down.
say God,
Question.
you can say I really ate. Is the camera rolling? Is the camera rolling? You can say I ate a particular school. But it doesn't mean that when certain things happen in that school, you not be like, and they did this one well. So when sometimes you come out to say, God, I just ate men. How many people here say men has come and men are heartbreakers? Does that mean all men will break your heart? But in that case, in the case, and no, I'm not going to be watchful, because I'm talking most of the time when women come out to say these harsh words, they are speaking from a place of rage. Like you are seeing a case of a 3-year-old girl being defiled, 3 month 3 months girl being defiled. There will be an anger boiling. I'm not going to now start saying, this is so sad, but then it's not all men that do it. I'm going to say men that, and if those men want to generalize, you will not often see women at the front line of when the boy child get assaulted. You will not see those women going there to say,
Thank you.
no, me, I did not assault the child. But most often than not, you see men when women are discussing issues that are very painful to them. Like it is not at that point that you are trying to tell me it's not all men.
That is not the bone of contention.
Yeah,
once
there's
again.
this particular case now of one autistic boy and that woman. Like I've seen women actively insulting the woman, calling her a pedophile, saying she should be arrested. I've not seen one man that's come out to say this is bad. They've been saying the boy go they enjoy. That is their own ideology.
Like, can you imagine that?
So I don't think you say you say you've not seen one man.
I promise you I've not
Have
seen.
you?
Are men.
But have you seen?
So I need men to stop trying to distract women. Like when we're talking about issues that are particular to us, stop trying to go out of your way to say, but it's not me that did it. So I'm a good person. How would I even know you're a good person when you are not joining hands with me to say
Thank you.
because if you are coming from a place of, as much as I understand that you're angry, this is very painful, but I want you to remember that not all men are bad. They will not do it like that. They will say, not all men, no, me, I'm not part of them. Why are you trying to exempt yourself? That did you do it, or can you do something like that? Why is it pinching you at that point that you feel the need to say, I didn't do it?
They've been wrongly accused also.
Have they been wrongly
But at that point in time, were they the ones that were
and they are not
But it's
even
the same
being
way you
accused?
too. You are fighting for somebody. Were you the one that was raped? No, you were fighting for somebody. That's the same way they too are also fighting against those people that were wrongly accused. I feel like it just goes both ways.
half of the time it's not about who's strong like is. But then I just want to say before I go that my name is Olajide Temidayo, and I will never stop being a feminist.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching us today. I'm sure you've heard the perspective from both these guys and these guys. So please, if you have anything to say, put it in the comment section. We're here to answer that. Bye.